I'm Barbara Schwartz, and I'm here today to show you how to make the 15-minute cheese. It's really simple. There's only 2 ingredients plus any seasonings you want to add. So we've got 10 ounces of whole milk, 1 ounce of ReaLemon lemon juice as a reminder. So here's the real lemon. We are not allowed milk on a fruit and vegetable day and no fruit on a milk and yogurt day. So we're going to use ReaLemon, which is 0-calorie lemon juice. It's all natural but made from concentrate, so that you can use any day, anytime. So that's what we're going to use to separate essentially the curds and whey. Then we're going to add any seasonings we want to spice it up a little when we're done. The only other thing that you need is a piece of cheesecloth, and we're going to use that ultimately to separate the curds and whey. So we're going to start with heating our milk. We're going to heat it to 180 degrees. If you don't have a food thermometer, what you're going to do is you're just going to watch for the time when the milk gets that little film over the top. Actually, did I turn that? There we go. That gets a film over the top. So I've just got the milk on high at the moment, and we're just going to let it heat up. And so that's just going to keep an eye on it for 10 ounces of milk. That's going to happen relatively quickly. I do have a food thermometer, really inexpensive. I got it on Amazon. And what you do is you can just keep an eye on it by putting it into the milk. So at the moment, it's cold right out of the fridge. By the way, I'm lactose intolerant, so I am using organic lactose-free whole milk. So this way, I've actually got lactose-free cheese. So that's great for me. So we're just going to give that a minute to heat up. Again, it might take 2 to 3 minutes, but you will be surprised once it heats up. It's going to happen relatively quickly. So just as a reminder, there are many different ways that you can enjoy your dairy or dairy alternatives on a milk day. This is one of our recipes that if you're using a dairy alternative, you're not going to be able to make cheese. But some people who don't use dairy or don't use milk sometimes do use cheese. And again, remember, you have the option, like I'm doing, of using lactose free. There are many different ways to enjoy it. Essentially what we're making is farmer cheese, and I should say thank you to Isabella Friedman Center, who actually introduced me to this recipe and did give me permission to share it with all of you. What we're going to be doing to spice it up, and you can use lots of things, is I'm going to be using later some Himalayan pink salt to give a little bit of that salty taste, along with, I use Bragg's Organic Sprinkle. This has, what does it say, 24 herbs and spices, so it's going to give a little different flavor. But there are many different cheeses. People like garlic, they like onion. Remember, anything that comes in sprinkle form, all seasonings are allowed any day, any time, so you can enjoy that. So let's take a look and see how our milk is doing. So I'm just going to put the thermometer in to take a look. And we're already at 111. It's going up, 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 up. So again, we want to get to 180, but it's still, the thermometer's creeping up. So we're at about 123. So it's going to be probably another minute or 2. Again, as a reminder, we're not allowed to use vinegar while on the program. Vinegar is often used as a separator of curds and whey. So that's why we're using something else that's acidic, a little bit on the lower level, which is our ReaLemon lemon juice. The way to separate curds and whey, I found out, is to put some kind of acid. Vinegar is a very common one for cheese, but again, we do not use vinegar while on the program. It's a little too acidic and it neutralizes the chemistry of the program. Remember, we are based in chemistry, not calories, so it's really important to keep that chemistry in mind. I can feel the milk heating up, so I'm going to check it again. And let's see where we are. So we're already over 140, so we're approaching that 180. And again, if you don't have a thermometer, if you've ever heated milk, at a certain level it starts to get like a thin film on the top. Just when it hits that, you're going to turn off the heat. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be letting it go. It's going to have to sit for about 3 minutes. We say 3 to 5, but I'm going to go on the short end. We'll go for the 3 minutes. So we're already at 160. So we're almost at that 180. It's getting there. And so again, lots of other fun dairy things that you can do. Check the website. Overall, we have over 500 recipes our clients can make, and we're adding more every day. There's lots of simple ways. I'll demonstrate maybe another day as how to make your own ice cream. You can make whipped cream. One of my favorite things is you make some hot chocolate and you can top it with your homemade whipped cream. So that's kind of fun. I made a flan. I think it's kind of a custardy thing. So we're getting really interesting things. So we're already at over 170. So we're getting close. And if you can see, there's just that little film that's forming. And as that film is forming, we're at 177, 178. We're just about there, 179, and we're at 180. So at 180, we're just going to turn off the heat. And we're going to let it sit. I'm going to turn the timer on for 3 minutes. So I'm just using the timer so that we can count it down. So this is how simple it is. We're essentially going to be heating up the milk, which we just did. We're going to be adding the lemon juice. And again, then it's going to have to sit, and then we're going to drain it. So it's a very, very simple process. It's a little patience because we got to watch the milk heat up. Now we got to let it sit. We're going to add the lemon juice. We're going to let it sit, and we're going to drain it. It is that simple. Just so you know, I am not that talented in the kitchen. So my attitude is if I can make cheese, anybody can make cheese. And it's really nice to have something different, something with a little substance, and that you can mix up the flavors. I'm a simple person, so I tend to use the same seasoning each time. It is actually the way also to make Indian paneer. I haven't done it yet because I love this cheese warm when you've just made it, so it rarely makes it to my fridge, but you can refrigerate it. And apparently if you keep it in the cheesecloth and place a plate on it with some weight overnight, or even within an hour or two, it's going to compress to actually be a sliceable Indian paneer. So that's a nice option as well. So let's talk about Qigong breathing because we have a few minutes. So people are always asking me how to do the breathing exercise. So why don't I do a little quick fill-in of that. We're going to use the Qigong for 3 reasons. It oxygenates the brain and body, better memory, better retention. It's going to expand lung capacity, and it's a systemic stress reliever. You can use it as a way to push away cravings and urges. So the way it works, with your mouth closed, it's going to take a deep breath through your nose, allowing your lungs to fill with air. When your lungs feel full without ever holding your breath, you're going to begin to exhale as slowly as you can out through your mouth. In through the nose, as slowly as you can, out through your mouth, focusing your attention solely on the breathing, pushing everything else out of your mind. It's meditative. In, out, focusing on the breathing. Now I normally do this sitting, but being we're here in the kitchen, I'm going to do it standing. So we're doing a belly breath. Remember, our lungs go all the way down to our diaphragm. Most of us are breathing here. So we're running around in our crazy lives. So we're going to remind the body how to breathe all the way down to our diaphragm. Oh, we're going to take a break, and I'm going to come back to that, and let's go check out our milk. So if you see, it's formed that little layer. And what we're going to do is we're going to pour in our lemon juice. And now we're going to set the timer again for another 3 minutes. There we go. Okay, so let's come back to the breathing. I'm going to demonstrate. Nice deep breath in, belly breath. When you finished your exhale, normal breathing to a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you repeat it again. I don't know if you can tell that my voice has actually just gotten deeper. All of that oxygen just from one breath has brought me back to center. By bringing me back to center, I'm no longer speaking from up here. I'm speaking from my center, which is the proper way to use our breath and our voice. When you do the breathing exercise, you're always going to do it 4 times. In through the nose, as slowly as you can out through your mouth, focusing on the breathing. Regular breaths for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then repeat. Total of 4 breaths. As you're getting used to this breathing exercise, we do recommend that you place the back of your hand in front of your mouth. When you can feel your own breath, you're able to slow it down. Take your time. For a lot of people, they have trouble connecting to a belly breath. So what we recommend is while you're lying down, maybe in bed in the evening, take a hard-covered book and place it on your belly. Then when you're breathing, your goal is to watch the book rise. If you're breathing from your chest, the book is going to go down or it's not going to move. So it also is going to help you with that meditative aspect, because while you're focusing your attention on that book, it's helping you meditate on the breathing. So it kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone, which is a great way to go. So we're down to 24 seconds. Again, it's kind of a 3 to 5 minutes. I'm cutting it on the short end so that we can see what's going on. And, you know, it's going through its separation. You can kind of see it bubbling a little bit. And we're going to rely on the cheesecloth to help separate it the remainder of the way, especially because we only gave it a few minutes. So now we're going to take it and we're going to separate the curds and whey. And I don't know if you can see on the video, you can even see a little bit of the residue in the pan. Those are the curds that turn into the cheese. So what I did is I placed the cheesecloth over a bowl. So now what I can do is the liquid is going to go into the bowl, and I'm going to be able to lift up. What's left is turning into our cheese. And then depending how hard or soft I want it, it's very hot, so be careful. It smells yummy, you can smell it already. Yeah, depending on how much you squeeze it out is how hard or soft your cheese will be. And again, I did kind of heat this and let it sit on the shorter end. You'll get a little more separation the longer you let it sit. So if you go more for the 5 minutes, you'll get a larger lump of cheese. But if you look in the cheesecloth, you'll see here. I'm going to bring around, I have another bowl. Yep, it's still draining. And again, like I said, if you go more for the 5 minutes, you're going to get a larger piece of cheese. So if you come over and just pull it out of the cheesecloth, got a nice little ball of cheese here. And again, I didn't, oops, I got some on. So you can see, it's actually cheese that I can hold. It's got texture, it's got substance. It is soft, but it's solid. And then what you can do is I like to just add a little bit of salt, a little bit of sprinkle, and I'm gonna get myself, I love to turn to a demi-tasse spoon. When you use a big spoon, we often take bites that are way too big. So a little demi-tasse spoon, just take a little bit. Really delicious cheese. Making cheese is that simple. It's a great variation. It's giving you something solid to enjoy and have fun with it. I'm Barbara Schwartz, and that's how to make our 15-minute cheese.